Thankfully, though, we have a better place to land that we're going to go check out. There is I've seen this before when making a aircraft. Get that lift going. Oh yeah. Gentle liftoff. Wow, we have a lot of speed in this thing. I like it a lot. So, I'm just gonna gently bank this direction. Like so. And back this way. Really, I just need like one input at a time rather than hitting multiple buttons. Just one input at a time, and that should be more than enough. But you see this island over here? There's a secret landing area on it that we're gonna go check out. Which it's kind of there as part of a secret thing and part of a, you know, like I guess a destination to go to with your space plane. So it's kind of nice. And we have so much speed that we gain with this thing that it shouldn't take us very long to get there at all. Alright, so I'm beginning the lineup phase to the actual landing strip. We're getting there. Once again, trying to do singular inputs rather than multiple. So that way I'm not disturbing the force within the aircraft, because that did not go too well for us last time. Put our gears, we will drop our throttle, and we will bring it up a bit. And the aircraft seems to be more twitchy with less throttle, so we just got to keep that in mind as we're coming in here. We actually lined this up fairly well. I'm a little surprised. And if I recall correctly, the landing strip itself does have quite a drop to it at the beginning here, so you gotta kind of come in with a bit of height, and then we will apply our brakes as soon as we touch down. And we want to touch down gently, so we're just gonna kill our engines, and you'll see what I mean, how it kind of like slopes upwards here. So gently. Oh my gosh, there's the slope. And let's apply our brakes. Gently. Gently. Ooh, ooh. Wow, those brakes are really good. Let's actually go over to this area first. There we go. And brakes. And as you see, it's a pretty cool little spot. You can actually climb all the way up to the tower if you get out here. In fact, I do plan on getting out. Let's EVA. And I'm actually gonna have you let go. Bink. Yeah, you ate it. But let's take a surface report or surface sample. Give us 9 science. EVA report. 2 science. Can I get back up in there? Don't think so. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So we'll recover. And then we'll go back to the map thing and recover the plane. Not too bad, actually. That worked quite well. Go to that untitled spacecraft and recover it. I was happy with that. That was fun. That space plane just was great, actually. A little surprised by how well it worked at first. With that success, let's make a spaceship. So, if you recall correctly, we wanted to get certain landing gear because we wanted to use this with a very specific design. And now that we have ladders, we have a few options here. So let me set up the basics of this design. So that's kind of the start. You have your science stuff at the top there. And then you put these decouplers on the side. And then you take we have that one fuel tank at the bottom. We want to take 2 larger fuel tanks, kind of line them up at the top here for balance purposes. That's good enough. And then we take these really large nuclear engines, which are nice. And this is kind of what we were trying to do before. So we want to take some structural girders, Put them out like that. And we actually want to mimic that on the other side here. Like so. In fact, I'm going to bring them down just under the top gray part there, which should balance it out. And then what we do is we take these large landing gears, and how do I want to set this up? Probably just the top is just against it, like that. And then if we extend them out, you see that we are definitely above where we need to be, which is great. So we can actually deploy it on both sides and then move this up a bit, because it doesn't need to be that high off the ground like that. That's pretty reasonable, so we'll go with that, which is about right there on the other side, maybe a little higher. Right there. And that's really pretty. So the second part to this is we need a ladder, obviously, to get back up. And what we do is we just stick one of these on. So we kind of gauge the height that we need. And we only need one of them. So about right there, which is nice. And then we just take some of these ladder segments and put them on the way up. Like so. And then we're able to get into our hatch pretty easily just by climbing up. And obviously we'll test that out in a second here, but what we want to do is put on these. So that's kind of the first thing. That will actually help quite a bit with the lift that we'll need. It'll help getting out of the atmosphere of Duna, and it'll help getting the entire thing out of the atmosphere of this planet as well. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change it up a bit. I am going to put major parachutes on it. I don't think that was something that I did in the last one, but it is very important. And then we will actually do parachute segments here, which should put one on the back end of this one, and here. So actually give us a lot of parachuting power. Let's go back to the science. We're going to do 2 of these, like so, and another 2 right there. Just kind of keeping everything kind of compact as much as we can. And the reason we have a fuel tank on the bottom there is because we take this, and it is going to go from here to there on both sides. So these 2 engines get a bit extra fuel out of this tank, which is quite nice. In fact, we can... no, actually, that should be fine. I was going to put a bigger tank, but that should work. And then we need the transmitter at the back here, which is good. We'll do 2 of these, like so, and then, whoops, 2 of these thermometers in the middle of those. Should we do one more? We could do one more. We don't need to, but we can. So we may as well. And that's actually looking pretty good. That's almost everything that we need. Last thing we need are some solar panels. So this is the 1x6. We're going to do 2 2x3s on each side, like that. So that's looking good. We're going to do some standard solar panels just on the top of the landing bits here. And that's actually not lining up. Why is that? Is that because, yeah, okay, it's because I had the V thing on. So we'll just put a couple, don't need a lot. Just need enough to, well, really just to get us some power. And then we're going to put batteries on these struts as well. And we'll put the batteries on the bottom, so we'll do a bit more on the sides, because as we learned the last time, we didn't have really quite the coverage towards any direction that the sun could be, so we were running out of power in weird areas. So that'll work, and that did on the back ones too. Just needed enough, like I said, And we will do some big batteries on the bottom of these. And that's pretty much our lander. So we're going to try to launch it. We're not going to, take off. We're just going to see kind of how it's gonna work here. So that has plenty of weight capacity. Remember last time we tried this, everything tried to break because these engines are so heavy. So let us try extending the ladder. And we're just going to make sure that we can get in and out without any issues. So this climbs down, no problem. Good. That was a little weird little graphical glitch there. We can let go. We can walk around. We can also get right back up. And get back in. Yup. Perfect. So everything works with that. You know what? Let's just log the pressure data. Let's do it. Because we can. Because I don't think we've ever actually done that here on the surface of Kerbin. Same with the temperature. Just, a little bit more science as we just recover. Heck, we're up to 91 science. We earned 6 from that. Oh well. I mean, it could be a lot better, but it's not bad. So let us now put this up. So these aren't going to be deployed when we actually take off. So here's what we need. We need our sub-assemblies. We need our asparagus launcher. And this is the one with the boosters. That's good. So that's kind of our bread and butter, what we've been using as of late. Actually, you know what? That's not quite the one, is it? Oh, we don't want that either. That's not the one we want. Okay, so let's save this as planetary. I don't think that's right. Probe. We'll just save it like that. Save. Okay, now I want to load our Duna lander. Because I think I had the launcher for this. Yeah, it had this big thing that I need right here. But I don't need all of this. So I'm just going to take this. I'm going to go to sub-assemblies. I'm going to click and drag and save it as asparagus large with boosters. Nailed it. Okay, now that that's saved, we're going to load back our planetary probe. Really shouldn't call it a probe. It actually should be called the planetary lander. We'll save it. And then we need just kind of an easy thing here, but it's going to work quite well. It's just that with an engine, probably a low burning one, so probably this one, with a couple fuel tanks on the outside, so we're going to do a small asparagus system on the outside here. So actually, you know what, let's go with this one, because I like these way better. Come on, I need you, thank you. Will that work? That should work. That should be enough. That should be more than enough. So let's go to our fuel tanks. We'll get this one. We'll bring them down a bit because they don't need to be that high. And we will put on these engines, which is looking good. See, this will kind of get us out of the system with these engines down here, which is kind of what we're looking for. And we will do if I can find them. There we go, nose cones, because that part's not going to be landing. And then we will asparagus system the heck out of this. So, I don't want that to replicate itself, so we'll go from here to here, and then from here to here. And we'll do the same thing with this one. So, here to here, And here to here. Whoops, that did not work at all. There we go. Cool, so let's set these up properly. Those all are the 4. We'll click these off. I need the bottom one and the middle one. So we'll have to double check this here. Whoops. Okay, that one. Yep. And then these 2 in their own. And then these 4 engines, which are that one plus this one. Yep. Will be right before it. 4 there. The 1 there. Okay, so all of these need to be at the top, so we have those, then that. This needs to be up there. Those 2 then fire after this has decoupled, so we need a decoupler right there. If I can find where the heck the decouplers are. Perfect. Whoops, right there, right there. All right, that is looking quite good. So 4 engines, then the asparagus system, then those 2 engines. But first we need that. And those will never decouple, so I'm going to put those up there at the top. Perfect. And the very last thing that we need is our subassembly of the asparagus launcher. Whoops. Nope, don't want that. I want the large one. And it has a lot of pieces to it too. Boom. Just like that. Oh, that looks so good. That is exactly what I wanted out of this. And the very last thing that we're going to do here is add some structural stability to the whole thing. So, stuff like that. Which is kind of surprising, but it does a pretty good job of stabilizing it at launch. Those should be fine, but the last one that I want to do is between this and the top bit. So we'll do ones between these. Otherwise, they like to get kind of crazy. Whatever, that'll work. And, you know, all of that should be fine. Let's save this as that. Let's launch and see if it rattles at all before it actually takes off. Surprisingly, that is quite stable. I like that a lot. Alright, we're going to do a test launch. So those. Okay, cool. We're just going to test launch and see if it actually works without exploding into pieces. Okay, so the boosters are going to do their job. They're going to get us enough speed so that when we hit our main engines, that we can get the rest of the way into orbit. I think that's how that's all going to work. I probably should put nose cones on all of those, to be honest. It'll help with acceleration. Also, my spacecraft is wanting to go one direction, which is not good. That's it tilting to one side here is not what I need. So I may have to get rid of these boosters way sooner. Whoop, whoop, come on. Come on. Come on, you got this. Launch those, launch that. Whew. That was really close. So I think it's gonna work, actually. Cool. I like that. We'll experiment with some other things. Let's go back to vehicle assembly. And we'll save it. We may have to put some winglets on it just to help with stability during takeoff. So save it. But with that being said, I think next week we're going to land not only on Duna, but also on Ike, which is its moon. And then come back with a Kerbal. Whew. It's a big undertaking. I think we can do it, though. We'll see you guys next time.